Hey, I'm Will. This is Cardboard Matt. We're going to be looking at Ark Nova today. We're going to explain to you how to play the game, how the solo works. I will play through an entire solo play game, and then I will give my review at the end. So you can check the timestamps if you want to skip ahead to any of the parts. In Ark Nova, you are creating your own zoo. You are bringing in animals from different countries. You are potentially releasing some into the wild or funding different conservation projects. And also you're going to be building up your little map of the zoo. And the animals are all represented by cards. So there'll be a little bit of an engine building or ongoing growth that will happen throughout the game. So let's head down and we'll explain and you'll see how to play. In Ark Nova, each player will have their own map with this large central board in the middle. And most of the action is going to take place on your central board and with your action cards. But before we begin, it's important to note that to win the game, you have two different tokens. One showing your appeal, which is represented by take its spot to go visit your park. And the green side of the board is going to show the conservation. So it's what efforts you're doing to improve animals' lives in the world. And the game will win when these tracks snake around and cross. So as soon as one player has crossed their tokens, each other player will get one more turn, and then the game will end, and you'll do a little bit of final scoring. In a solo gameplay, you instead will have a time limit, a certain number of rounds. In order to cross that, if you were able to do that, then you win. But otherwise, the gameplay is pretty much the same. I'll cover solo explanation a little bit later on. The main meat of the game is in these 5 action cards. They're going to be randomly assigned, except for the animals card is always going to be bumped to the first slot. And terms are very easy, especially if you're teaching this to new players. It's very simple to understand that you are going to pick one of these 5 cards to perform the action that's written on that card. And then the strength of that action is based on the number that is above the slot. You can boost it by spending these plus tokens or X tokens. I like to think they're like a film reel kind of style, like you're filming a nature documentary. And after you've done your action, that card that you selected will go to the beginning of the line and bump everything up. And that way, you will have this constantly revolving selection of actions and a decision of do you want to let actions grow to be stronger, or do you want that action now for maybe a lesser strength? And then teaching the game, we're just going to look at the actions, and they will pretty well explain how everything works as we go. So I am going to, in fact, step backwards a little bit with the cards card. I also note that there are 2 sides to each of these cards, which can be upgraded anywhere where you pass a marker that shows a card flip in number 2. This is important because each action also not only gets stronger when you're able to flip it, but you are limited in certain areas of the game by requiring to have those flipped actions before you were able to do that. So anywhere where you see blue, that means that anywhere it can go, anytime with the blue actions or red, but red areas can only be accessed with the upgrade action. And that holds true, on the main board here, on your small side boards, on your map, even on the funds board, I guess I forget what that's called. So remember that you have to have those actions upgrade before you can access those areas. And the game is such design that you will at most be able to upgrade 4 of those. So choose wisely. All right, so the cards card, right? This is how you get new cards in your hand. You will have a hand limit of 3. But there is a way to upgrade that with a university upgrade, which I'll cover how to get that soon. But the limit of 3 only comes into account after what's called a break. So you can have really as many cards as you want until there's a break, and then you have to discard down to a 3. And I will explain how the breaks work. So cards, see it says break and then a number. Anytime there's a break, you're going to have this coffee cup up in the break track, and you're going to move it to the left that many spaces. If you are the one to move it onto the end spot, you will get one of those plus tokens, and a break will occur. And we'll go into more detail of that in a minute. So, because there's a few steps to the break. And then you're going to draw cards from the deck. So you can always draw cards and, following this little chart from the top of the deck. But there will be an array of cards that will be placed out on each of the spaces. And they will refill at the end of turns. I'll fill these up once I begin the actual play. I just have a few examples to show how the game works. Now, you can't just select from anywhere along this market until you have flipped this card over, and then you can draw cards within reputation range. So this track here is your reputation. Everybody's starting off with 1. You're limited to 9 unless you are able to flip your card, and then you're able to surpass that, which essentially just gives you more options. So you can draw cards from the display instead of just randomly off the top. So you don't have to be as lucky. There's also the option of snapping. Snapping means just taking one card from anywhere along the row, regardless of reputation range, and it goes into your hand. Usually that's far less powerful, and you're only going to get one card instead of, 3 cards. So that's how you refill your hand. Then we have, what to do with those cards in your hand. I will explain animals soon, but you can't do anything with animals until you have buildings. Buildings are how you build your map, but you also have to have locations to place animals in. So everyone's going to start with a size 3 building. That means there are 3 hexes attached in this tile, and are going to start somewhere along the edge, but of course not covering those level 2 buildings locations. Some maps are a little bit different, and we'll show you where you must start. So you must have a empty habitat or building before you can place animals. So it's very important to build those out in the map. Plus, anytime you cover over one of these icons, you will get that thing. So that's good to have. When you're building, the value is going to determine essentially how many hexes you can build on the map. And then you can divide that any way you choose among different standard buildings, but you can only build one of each type maximum. You'd have to split up to different types. And you're going to spend $2 per hex space that those buildings require. So if I wanted a size 3 building, that's $6. I could also build something like a kiosk, which is a little single square, or the observation platforms. Observation platforms just give you one appeal immediately, but they do count as a finished building. But then, of course, the kiosks are important. There is a rule that shows where they may be built and how far away from each other. And ideally, you want to place them next to finished animal enclosures for some break scoring, where you'll get $1 or one money per finished animal location that is touching this observation, kiosk. So you can get a little bit of a money creating engine happening here. Also, you may not build over the rock or water locations, but there are certain animals that will require their habitat to be touching one of those, or touching a certain number of hexes. And that is shown up in the top corner of the cards. There'll be an animal or a water symbol. So you can choose what buildings you're going to build and pay the bank. There are some specialty buildings that you cannot build yet until you upgrade. However, the only specialty building you can build before you upgrade your building is a petting zoo, but they're only specific animals may go in the petting zoo, and they will have a goat icon in the corner. Petting zoos also, you can only have one. The specialty buildings, you can also build larger reptile or aviary houses to store special birds or reptiles in. So if an animal may go into one of those special buildings, it will have a symbol in the corner showing the type of building that is. Or you can still build animals into a standard building, but there will be a space requirement, also shown in the top left corner, of the size of habitat minimum that is required to host the animal. Once you place the animal in it, you'll be flipping that building over. And we'll get to that during the build animal step. It is important to know also that you can only have one each of the reptile house, large aviary, or the petting zoo. And flipping over the build card does give you access to building on those restricted areas. So next we have sponsors. Sponsors relates to special cards that have a sponsor value on the side, which has to match the value on the action. And you'll be able to play one of those cards into your tableau. Sometimes they give ongoing benefits or points. Occasionally they will even activate on what other players do, so it's important to watch out. Anything in yellow is immediate. Anything in purple, or like with a hand sign, is something you will get during a break. So it's important to have a collection of those to help kind of build up how your engine works. Alternatively, with a sponsor card, you can perform a larger break, in which case you can break up to the number of spaces equal to your value. So I can break 5 spaces and then get $1 per space that I had to break. This is a good way to control the flow of the game, especially when playing multiplayer. That option, however, is still available to do for money during solo, but you will not be triggering breaks. In fact, the break token will not be in effect. And on the opposite side, it just increases the size of the sponsor you're able to build. All right, next we have the animal cards. So basic side is lets you play animals. Other side lets you play more than one animal, or play directly from the board within the reputation range. However, you will have to pay extra equal to the value in the symbol here in the banner in order to play those. But that does allow you to not have to draw the card first. You can just play it straight from the board. When you're playing an animal from your hand, there is a cost in money associated. You have to have the size requirement, like I mentioned before, or place them in a special habitat. If you're building in a standard building, you have to have an empty area of the same size or larger, and then you'll flip that building to show it is occupied. If you had one of the specialty buildings, for example, the reptile location here, you would be able to, instead of placing an animal in its own location, you'd be able to place a cube on that building per number that's written in the little symbol that shows that special building. In this case, it shows 0, so I won't even have to fill up my reptile building at all. I can just play this card for free. Cards also have requirements on the left of different things you must have. Occasionally, it must be sponsorships with other countries, which you'll be able to get additional ones through association, which I'll explain soon. But also, existing things that you already have will count towards that. So it's important to note that, if you have a requirement of 2 Australia icons, if you already have 2 Australian animals, those will go towards that, and so on. And then there's the name of the animal and an ability. If there is a yellow icon, that is a kind of an attack. You can probably choose to play without them if you don't like to be a little bit more aggressive in your board games, but really I found that the impact is minimal enough and not especially impactful, and also temporary. So it's really just worthwhile just to leave it in and have fun playing with it. But for solo, you'll, instead of doing the yellow token, you'll be performing the action in the bottom. And once you, of course, you played your animal, you'll get to keep it. You'll score reputation and occasionally some other bonuses and things associated with that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of how to build different animals and things. Now we're also going to have to talk about association. So this is where a lot of the green valued points, which is the conservation, comes in, is from this board, as well as some necessary upgrades and things. So association works just like all the other cards. You perform the task at the value of the spot it's in, and you must have an available worker in order to go to the association board. Otherwise, you can't. You cannot remove the ones off of the side unless you have achieved one of the icons or upgrades that will allow you to place and remove additional ones, in which case you'll start from the bottom and just add them to your pool every round. When you take the association action, you can go and you can take an action on this board here. The first section is only if you have an upgrade association, and you do not have to place a worker for it, but you do get to spend money for conservation. And this could be, you can also do this on top of a primary association action or just on its own. This can be a game-changing way of earning some extra conservation, especially if you get in there early enough when it's still very cheap. First location is just getting 2 reputation, which again expands your reach. Then we have the making a partnership with another country. You can only have 1 each of these maximum. And when you take one, you'll place it on your board, like so, starting from the bottom and up, and get the bonus that's underneath if there is one. You'd only place on the higher level ones if you have the association card upgraded. And you will get a $3 discount on all animals that you buy, or sorry, for each symbol of that type that is in the animal that you are about to build. So if an animal has 2 Australia symbols on it, you'll save $6. The next spot is a university. These work the same. These work the same way, and you can only have 1 of each type. And this is how you get the upgrade that will allow you to hold more cards in your hand during a break. And then lastly is sponsoring a new card. So you can either sponsor an existing card, or if you have a new program in your hand, you could place that. If there's any existing cards, you'd bump them over, and anything higher than your player count will fall off and disappear. When you place on these cards, you can then also make a pledge towards it, and there's a variety of different requirements. Usually that you would need to have a certain number of symbols, for example 2, and then gain 2 conservation. But occasionally you may have to release animals, in which case you will lose the card that is associated with the animal you released, lose the reputation, but not any other card effects or bonuses, and you'll have to flip back a building location that is the smallest size that that animal can live in. Essentially, you're setting it free and emptying the pens. You can only also pledge to each card only once throughout the game, not multiple times. So getting there first come first serve is important. When you do pledge to one of these cards, you'll take a cube off of the left side here and place it on the spot that you qualified for. Of course, getting the bonuses. Again, like I said, yellow is a one-time bonus, but purple is during every break. So when a break happens, you'll discard down to 3 cards. You'll remove any of those combative yellow and red tokens or multipliers. You'll restock this board with, make sure there's 1 of each thing there. You'll remove the first 2 cards, and then you'll gain everything from the purple hand section here. That means you're going to get money equal to your reputation. You're going to get money from your kiosks. You're going to get money from any of the during a break cards that you have built. Usually those are sponsors. And of course, any purple things that you'll get as well, and then reset the break token to its starting location. So, like I said, you're going to keep playing until one player crosses, and then those icons are going to bump down to the reputation, and it's best just to follow the steps in the rulebook because you will be essentially kind of leveling off your conservation into your reputation, so you're more at the points level, and then you'll start awarding additional points and things based on secret endgame objectives. So that's the last thing. Endgame objectives, everyone's dealt 2. There are different creatures that could give you bonus ones. And as soon as anybody passes this spot here, everybody will have to discard one of these and keep the other for endgame scoring. So for the solo game now, it is very much the same as the one-player game, except like I mentioned at the start, you, instead of playing until you meet and then evaluating then, after each turn, you will step one of these cubes on this tracker over. Once all the cubes have been pushed over, you'll remove the top cube from the game and then perform a break. You will do that until there are only 2 cubes left, so it'll be 6 breaks. And then at that point, if you were able to cross your reputation and conservation, then you win. If you're not able to cross it, then you lose. So you essentially have to have a positive value by the time you get to the end. Also, anytime there are attack cards, instead of performing the icon, you are instead going to do the blue action on the bottom. So it is a little bit different. But other than that, really the AI doesn't really affect you at all. It is just a straight timer and almost a beat your own high score type variant. So I have to choose from my 8 randomly dealt cards. I have to choose 4 of these, discard the other 4. I can also take a look at what endgame scoring I have. So I have large animal zoo. So they want lots of animals of 4 size or higher. That might be difficult to fit them all in. Or gain conservation for rock icons in your zoo. So creatures that require rocks as part of their requirements, which is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see if I start off of it. Oh, I have another creature. But it is a rock icon though, so I actually have 2 rock icons right there. And that's all I have for rock icons. Do I have any large animals? I have 2 large animals. The red-shanked duke or the Asian elephant. He has to be upgraded, upgrade animal card before I can even place him. So that's a little more difficult. Okay, you will see there are occasionally some special locations that can get built based on cards as well. But really you got to start with things that are going to be easy to build at the beginning, right? Like a level 6 sponsorship is pretty well impossible unless I have tokens. And tokens are a little bit harder to get. Especially since there's no actual break phase. Sea lion, but that would be a good start because that would give me 2 rock icons already. I would need to get up to 7. That's gonna be really hard to fit that many animals around it. But each time I play a rock icon, I get 2 points. And if I can get 6 rock icons, I get a conservation. So maybe I'm going to go for that. I'll go for those rocks. What else is going to go with that? I should probably grab some easy to start things. A card from the deck in reputation range. Okay, maybe I'll grab a couple of those and maybe some cheaper animals to get me going. So I gotta get my engine up. So scoring, we have birds, we have Australia, and we have mixes. So for Australia, I could get the sea lion. You 1 point for each predator icon in your zoo. Okay. He's costly though. I don't really have other Australian things here. I do have a couple of primates that I do get bonuses for primates. They're not too, that would be not too bad. I would need a science though. But maybe I could take those two. That might be a good start. The Cobra. Oh, after the current action, perform one additional action. Ooh. Oh yeah, but he requires upgrades. So these guys are not going to be for a long time. He's expensive. Doesn't go with my strategy. And he doesn't really go with my strategy. So I'm going to take these 4 cards to start. And that should be good to get me going. So I do have a level 5 sponsorship already. So maybe I'll just do that first. That's probably the easiest. I'm going to put my in-game scoring here so that everyone can kind of remember what I've got going. And let's just start right off with the zoo school. We don't even have any animals yet. It's not much of a school, but I'm going to do the sponsorship for level 5. Get my zoo school going. And that's going to require a special location of the zoo school. It's a little 3-piece one. It's somewhere in my bin. No. Oh, it's green. Okay, I thought it was yellow. Zoo school, so it has to be on at least 2 different border spaces. Oh, I get size 3 enclosure and a kiosk to begin. 2. Oh, I would love to place it in there somewhere. Can I even do 2? Oh yeah, I can. I can do it like that. It's not ideal, but that's going to give me 1 X token. And it's going to at least give me $1 for my kiosk. So that's okay. I got 1 reputation and 1 conservation. So it's a pretty good start. And I got a building right away. So that's fine. It does also give me a bonus of take 1 card from the deck on reputation range. So at this point, I should really deal out my cards. Since I've finished drafting. Anything with mountains that works well for me? Oh, I could grab the leopard. Yeah, that's got mountains on it. Maybe I'll take the leopard. Okay, that's my hand. So that's pretty good, pretty good. I need to save up my sponsorship card now. And bump. And I've got association now. So maybe I should make a partnership. I need a partnership in order to play my leopard. Real Hunter 4, yeah. I guess any partnership will do. So I could technically do that. I've got association 5 right now. I mean, I would have loved the university, so I can get my Red Chain Dukes out, but I think I'm going to do the leopard first because he's definitely worth more points. So we're going to do the association, value 5, and I'm just going to grab a partnership. And I think looking ahead, we think Asian or North American. I guess North American probably first. It goes in there. And then that gets reset. Oh, I've been forgetting to move these. So that's two turns. I'm sorry, I'm already off to a bad start. And then I could build. I'm not sure if I want to build right now. I can go ahead and play my leopard. probably a good use of this now. So I'm going to play my leopard. Because it's a 3, I'm only building 1 animal right now. I don't think I can afford 2 at once. I also don't have the buildings for it. So let's go $20. So all my money. We're going to build the leopard. He's going to be next to a rock, so he is. And then he's going to hunt 4. So he's going to reveal the 4 topmost cards of the deck. Choose 1 animal and add to your hand. Discard the others. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're kind of looking for rocks here. Oh, you may cover water and rock spaces. Ignore all requirements for water and rock spaces. What? Requires level 2. Gain 2. Oh, that would have been great. It's not an animal, though. So the tapir is a good cheap one, or the koala. I think the tapir is the obvious choice because I already have a North American partnership. So he's going to my hand. And then I'm going to get 1 conservation, 7 points for my leopard. And this means I'm at the break point here. So I get to choose to either flip a card or gain one of these dudes for more association. I think at this point, flipping cards is probably more valuable. I'm not sure if I want large bird, reptile. No, I'm kind of going for mountain spaces right now. Getting more cards that I need could be key. Flipping animals, then build within reputation range is expensive. Play a sponsor card, or sponsor card +1. That's good. The associate, you know what? I think I'm gonna take the association and maybe try to squeeze some early donations in there. And I might just be able to get in there because the AI is gonna fill this up automatically. So I want to get in there a little bit sooner. That's third action. Gotta keep remembering that. And next, I guess I'll build. What am I building next? I'm building the tapir takes 2. The monkey also takes 2. The monkey doesn't require to be next to anything. Need more money. Maybe I'll break. Where's my break? Oh, okay, my break money is not very high. Draw cards from deck for snap. So I got 4 more rounds till the AI breaks. So and I've already blown all my cash. It's probably not ideal, especially since I can't hit the break and trigger a break action. That does make things a lot more difficult. If I build for 4, I really need like $1 more. And then I can squeeze a little guy in there somewhere. Oh, you know, I think that's right. Things place in order of your choice. So you know, I am going to break. So I'm going to build. So I get size 5. I'm going to do $4 first to build a size 2 enclosure. Where did these go? Oh yeah, the little ones. Place it over here to get $5. And then I can still build 3 more things. So I have $6 here. So I'm going to spend 4 of those. And I'm going to build a single over here for get 2 reputation. And then with the other single, I should probably build another kiosk somewhere to start getting more income. Or maybe I'll stick another kiosk here. Kiosk has to have 2 spaces between them. So I can put another kiosk there. All right, and do I really want to spend an extra $2 somewhere? Probably not. I would love to build another size 2 building, but I can't. So that is my turn in the bump. Now I could just break and draw cards. What I really want to do is I want to play some of these guys before I have to lose them. I don't want to lose all my cards. Sponsors. Yeah, I think I'll be okay. I do, if I get a sponsor out, I won't have to discard anything. Yeah, I think that will work. Okay. So we are going to, 4. He needs to get up 1 more. Okay. I'm going to break for 2. So it's just going to draw 3 cards, discard 1, or snap 1. I'm not seeing any. Oh, I guess there's a mountain condor. No, that's too expensive. So I'm going to draw 3 and discard 1. What did I get here? I got Jaguar. Waza special assignments. There's one deck. Cards. You cannot play unmarked kind anymore. Oh, limits you. And a bird. Well, I've got some North American stuff going, so let's get a Jaguar. Get some cats. Okay, that goes here. Progresses 1. Now I'm going to play sponsor with an X for sponsor level 6. And I'm going to place the aerial cableway. Each time you play a rock icon to your zoo, getting 2 points. So the cable is a long straight one. You'll find out where that went to. There it is. It has to touch 2 rock spaces. So if I go in here, that will definitely touch 2. That's an awkward spot though. I could go in here, that's even more awkward. I'm like cutting my entire map in half here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go here. That's gonna give me an X and a card. And it's a card within reputation range or from the top of the deck. I'm just going to draw. Sponsorship elephants. I need herbivores in my zoo. Okay. All right, that bumps. And I got to do 1 more action maybe. I don't know if I can do. I guess I can just break. Oh no, that's that. I can't do any more associations. I can't play animals. I can't play buildings. So there's really nothing I want to do right now. I don't want to draw cards anymore. So I'm going to take the fallback action, which is just pick a card, bump to the first slot, and grab an X. Not ideal, but this is going to have to be. All right, so we are going to hit our first break. This is going to go pop up here and cover the first slot. And we're going to get some sweet, sweet money here. First, I'm going to have to discard down 2, 3 cards. So we're dropping that. Oh, I want my monkeys. And my tapirs. I guess the Jaguar is not really needed. And he's just big. So discard down to 3 cards. Remove 2 cards here. There's also nothing from the university that needs replenished. I'm not even going to bother replenishing the partnerships because it's only me playing and I can't have more than 1. And then we're going to gain income of 27. And I have no purple bonuses. I do have a endgame card and 2 points for each time I place a rock thing, but there's no income right now. So anyways, I still got a bunch of money. Now let's reset all these and continue. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all the way around the circle in this amount of time. All right, so I forgot kiosks. Kiosks are 1 point for each completed enclosure or other building next to it. So I'm also going to get $2 there. Forget that. Okay. All right, so my Land Association comes back. My association is ready to go. And it is flipped. So maybe I should take advantage of that now. So I'm going to use Association 5. I might grab another partnership just so I can flip a card. I do need some science though. But I think at this point I will take the Asian partnership. And then I get to flip and make a $5 donation. And that cube comes from over here. And one of those. Okay. Now I do get to flip a card. So again, I'm not really going for special buildings. Sponsors, I'm going to do the sponsors +1. And then let's move this down and advance the AI. Okay, I'm a little more flush for cash right now. So I think maybe we are tap here. It's probably a good plan. So tap here is 15, minus 3. So let's get a 10 back here and pay 2 more for 12. And he is going to go next to... Nope, I did not do that right. He needs mountains. I need to build. I'm going to build instead. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to build. We're going to build a 4 worth of things. So there's a size 2 and maybe another kiosk. So that's $6 and yeah, I think that's gonna be it for now. So we can put in 11 and take a 5. And put this guy here and then take another $5 and put the kiosk like in here. So it can be blocking spaces next to the mountains. Sure, okay. So that's my build, advance. Now I can do animals. And I could play 2 animals if I had the money. Or wait, do I have discounts? Okay, hold on, let's go one at a time. So Tapir is going to be $12 because of the discount. And he is going to go over here next to the mountain. Whenever I place something next to a mountain, I get 2 reputation. He's also going to give me 4 reputation and 1 conservation. And dig 2, choose up to 2 things. Discard a card from the display and replenish, or discard a card from your hand to draw one from the deck. I kind of like the cards from my hand. I might discard a card from the display. I'm going to discard both of these and then just replenish. Just to get some more options going. Oh, another mountains. Okay, and then for my second animal, I will play my Ecuadorian squirrel monkeys. So that's going to cost me 9 because again, this is my discount. So that actually works out pretty well. And I have a spot right here for them. And they're going to give me 5 reputation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or sell 5 tickets. And they're clever. After finishing the current action, you may place any action card on a 1. So I'm going to finish my action, and then I'm going to place any card on 1. Probably I would love to do a sponsor. Do I have enough for a sponsor? I guess I could. Maybe I don't have any associations right now, so I can put association on 1. Okay, the eye is going to go. Now I need to draw some cards, and I'm thinking of snapping, because this one here requires 3 reputation. I have meerkats. Each time you play a herbivore in your zoo, you get 2 points, and place next to a rock space. I only have 1 herbivore though right now. But it is a mountain card, a mountain symbol, which could be good for my rock icons in my zoo. Or I could grab, the condor is kind of too big. The European experts, don't have any European cards. So maybe I will snap that meerkat den. Just for the bonus. Then I'll be working for a couple different things. So I'm going to play a symbol to snap, and then to grab that card and put it in my hand. So I have boosted this to 5, which allows me to snap 1 card. And then these will shift and shift. And now I can sponsor +1. So I will play that meerkat den now. I've got a reputation of 3 already, so I'm good. Every time I play a mountain, I get 2 points, or a mountain card. Let's see, each time you place an herbivore, I get 2 points, and place next to at least 1 rock space. So I get a meerkat habitat. I'm filling up my habitat with things, but not really animals. So yeah, I think I'll put that in here, and that'll give me an X. Great. And bump the card river, spend a card. And now I'm broken, I don't know what to do. I could build again right before. I can only build a size 2. This is already up at 5. It's not helpful. I could build a size 2 thing, which would allow me to place nothing right now. I only have 1 primate, so my primate card is not really ideal here. It really needs me to have more primates than this 1 right now. I could use my cards card to just draw 1 card, or I could skip something and gain an X. Nope, didn't refill. Maybe I'll just use my cards card and just draw a card, because I really need more cards. Ooh, a northern giraffe. Boost sponsors. After finishing the current action, you may place your sponsor's card on a 1 or a 5. Ooh. Okay, so that is it for the AI. They are going to cover up one of these conservation spots and trigger a break. I am good for cards. I don't need to refill anything. I'm going to take my guy back though. Then we're going to wipe 2 of the cards here. Slide down the river. Ooh, there's a moose. Getting the moose. I see moose. Moose are dangerous. You gotta watch out for moose. I've seen a moose get hit by a car and it landed on top of the car and crushed it. Not pretty. All right, so now I'm gonna get some points. I am up to $40. Woo! $40, and then my kiosks, which I'm not going to forget this time. This one's going to earn me $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 from kiosks. Not too shabby for they've already paid for themselves. And that is it. Replace these, and we're good to keep going. All right, so building is up high. I do need to do some building. I want more mountain cards. So far, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountain symbols, and I need 7. I could use more herbivores, which is, of course, the giraffe is a good herbivore, but I don't have any sponsor cards to play afterwards. Large animals, that's size 4+. I don't have any right now. I don't have any Australia. I do have 3 different continents right now, so I could sponsor the lowest one, but not ideal. I definitely need to make some room. Okay, so let's build, and we're gonna get a size 4 enclosure here. So that's gonna cost me $8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm gonna need that for some of my bigger creatures I'm gonna try to put out. Like my red-shanked Duke. You know what? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna switch that to a size 3 and take $2 back. So I can do a size 3 and I think a size 2. Let's play this over here so I can flip one of these guys up to have more association actions. And then, so it's a size 3, and maybe I'll spend $4 more on, do I want a two 2s or a, or 2 1s? Sorry, a 2 or 2 size 1s. I think I'm gonna go for a size 2 and pop that right in this long skinny spot here. All right, sorry, nothing in here yet. My mistake. Okay, so that's building and advance. So animals, I could now do my giraffe, but again, I have no sponsors. Up at 5. There's archaeologists. Each time you gain the placement bonus of a border space in your zoo, you're getting another free placement bonus. No, I'm not sure if I want that one. I would love to go digging for more cards. I have no science. I could do an association of 4 and just go ahead and get a science. So maybe I'll do that now. I'll do an association of 4. Place him out over here and grab the. I need at least one science icon right now. So let's go ahead and grab the science and the hat, the two hats, or the 2 reputation. I'm also going to spend $7 and get some change. And I'm going to, cover over one of these for conservation. Okay, I'm getting a lot of bonuses here. Hold the horses. Okay, so I'm going to do this one first. This is going to bump up by 2. And this is going to pass a flip. So I can flip over one of these things. I'm going to flip over the build. Okay. And then I'm also at this point here. So I can either grab another university or another hat. So I'm going to take the university. And I'm going to grab the 5-card limit and the other hat. So that's going to boost my rotation up here. I'm going to place it here, which allows me to flip another one of my cards over. And I think I'm going to do the cards card. Okay, so that was a good turn. I did a lot of stuff there. And advance this. Okay, I spent money there. And I still don't have any sponsors. If I drew cards now, I'd be getting 2, or I could snap 1. There's still nothing I want from the snap. I do want to get that draft out there. That gives me some good stuff, but he's just not working for me right now. Do I have any mountain cards? No. Play animal card from my hand. And then put sponsors at 1 out of 5. Sponsors are already going to be at 5. I would love to get my cards to 5, but that's just not happening right now. There's not quite as much deck turn in solo as there is in multiplayer. Or I could break for money. That could be important. Okay, let's go out on a limb here. Okay, so let's I'll double the money. Okay, let's do animals. Can I place animals from reputation range? I cannot. Nope. Okay, I could draw cards from reputation range. I think maybe I'll do that. So I'm going to draw 2 cards, either from reputation or from the deck. I'm going to take this monkey. He's a size 2. Sorry, he's a macaque. And put that in my hand, and I'm going to draw one off the top of the deck because I don't like any of these cards. So for my hands, we're going to get a wombat. I want over a wombat. Oh, it is an herbivore though. You may place 1 card from your hand under this to gain 2 points. Oh, maybe that's not too bad. Okay, so that's break and move. We're starting to run out of time here. I need to get some variety in here. I have no birds. I haven't even almost seen any birds. I need to get some more Australia icons. That could be the wombat. But now that I've got some primates, I could go for the triple primate with the red Shank Duke, which will allow me to get 2 X's. Okay. Draw a card from the deck. Okay, let's do animals. And we're going to do, first let's place the wombat, which is going to be $9. And he's a little size 2, so he's going to squeeze in here. But he's an herbivore, so he gives me 2 points for being an herbivore, and then 4 for his own. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I can tuck a card under him for an additional 2. I think I might just give up my monkey strategy because it's not working. And just bury a card for 2 points. I'm going to discard it because it doesn't matter. 1, 2. And then for my second animal, I will place my giraffes for $16. And they need a size 3 enclosure, so I can flip over as well. And they're going to give me 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 more for being herbivores. And they get to boost sponsors. So sponsor can go either up to a 1 or 5. And I can play from within reputation range, but there's just nothing I want to place. Whole border spacers covered is 1 point. Well, I might be able to finish the border spaces by the end of the game. So that's a lot of money. It's $20 for the moose. Oh, sorry, no, for the archaeologist. Each time you gain the placement bonus of a border space, so like the $10 here, you gain another free placement bonus. So that means you get twice. Okay, card 221. This is why they have a glossary. Each time you gain the placement bonus of a border space in your zoo, you gain an additional free placement bonus of your choice. Choose any placement bonus in your zoo that has not yet been covered. This bonus does not have to be on a border space. If you gain several placement bonuses on the border space at the same time, you take an additional for each one. They can be combined. Also, at the end of the game, you gain a conservation point if you have covered all border spaces in your zoo for rock or water. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll cost me $10. I can't do it. Don't have the money. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave sponsors at 5 anyways. The AI is gonna go and is gonna. I'm only getting one more turn. I'm about to get a pile of money anyways. It's gonna become cheaper, so that is gonna be fine. I can build now. Maybe I'll build for size 4 and spend $8. Building a size 4 enclosure. And let's put this guy in here. And that's going to give me a card draw, either from within reputation range or from the deck. I'm going to get it from the deck. South American Coati. Oh, the Coatis are super cute. I saw one walking down the path in Belize. Really cute animal. And he's a mountain card. That's even more important. Oh, was that a border bonus? It was not a border bonus. Okay, so 4 and maybe I have no extra money. Okay, so that's it for build. And then we are breaking again. They're going to drop their cube over here. And I get this guy back. And this time I'm going to gain $57. 40, 55, 6, 7. So we're not really doing a whole lot in the conservation front right now. It's probably not a good thing. Yeah, not good at all. I need to get something up quickly. All right, now purple hand bonuses. I also get money from kiosks. So $1, $2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $8 from kiosks. 7, 8. All right, and reset these. I only have essentially 2 more rounds left. Not a lot of turns. I do have space for each of these guys, but oh yeah, and wipe 2 cards. I almost forgot. Let's see if anything shows up. Ooh, expert in small animals. Oh, but it's only while you're playing it. Okay, I'm going to grab the sponsors +1 to grab the archaeologist from within reputation range. So I'm going to spend $3 to get him. And I'm going to get him right now. Okay. I don't know if that's too little, too late, but we'll see. Okay, then we have association. So we're going to do that for, let's see, how many continents do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. What am I missing? I'm missing Europe. Do I have Europe? Do I want to go get Europe first and then get the other one later? For 5? That might be the difference. So maybe we will get Europe first. And take this bonus here. And then I'm going to spend the $10 placing their cube there for one. It's expensive, but that's what I'm going to do. And then they move. And I could break and get some more cards. Lizard cards, small animal cards. The moose again. I have the herbivores for the moose. He's a size 4. He's probably a better 4 than my Duke. Look what our sponsors. Place ×2 on your sponsor's action card. May share existing enclosure of a size 4 animal. So I don't think I have a size 4 herbivore yet. So he would just be taking up a lot of space on his own. The Duke is actually better for me, I think. No, maybe not. Because the Cody has... The Cody's got a mountain space. Okay, let's go back to... I gotta get cards out of the way here. So I'll do... Or do I? I could display 2 animals. Or I could draw cards from reputation range. So I could get the moose. The large animals, I would have 1 currently, but I could sponsor that at some point. I really need to sponsor again to get this one. Australia is not going to happen. I'm just not getting Australian cards. I mean, the emu, but I can't even play him right now. So he's just not working. How many mountain cards do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 5. So I could do the Cody. If I build for 3, no, I need to build more. It's tough. It's tough. Okay, build. I'm just going to draw. Let's go in blind, draw 4 cards. Discard 1. And let's see what I got. Maybe we'll get lucky here. Polar bear. Each time a bear icon is played. Do I have bears in my park? I do not. Rock Monitor may sell cards. Up to 3 cards for $4 each. Okay, there's mountain space, which is good. So that's maybe. The Cayman is not that great. And then Native Lizards gain 1 point for each connected rock space. Ooh. And then gain for each 2 isolated rock spaces. What does that even mean? Isolated rock spaces. That could be... Oh, I can't... it says max 25, so I can't play it now anyways. I guess it's too late in the game. So I'm just going to straight up discard that 1. And keep the others, even though only the Rock Monitor is really helpful right now. Yeah. A little rock. Yeah, sunbathing could be good. So that's my break. And bump. And they're going to do a refresh soon. So maybe I should build and then play animals next round. So I'm going to build for let's see, for 4. So that's $8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And I need a. Oh, the camera's pretty good. Okay. I need another size 2 enclosure. And then I guess I'm going to spend an X to boost this up to 5. Spend $2 more. So now I can build a size 3 enclosure. And we'll go with those guys. And I can get another bonus for free whenever I cover up a border space. So there only is 1 border space left. It's a little badly timed here. But let's do it. So I'm going to cover up this space. That gives me $10. And then a bonus. So I can go up here. I'm going to take this one. So I'm going to get 2. That's going to give me this last guy for 2 of these. And I'm going to take, I'm chaining a lot here. And I'm going to take this for a partnership, the last one I'm missing here, which will give me another 2 of these. And we're going to discard the large animals. Okay, and that's for that, covering that one. Then we're going to place, I guess, the 3 here. And get 2 more. As my cards upgrades, my cards is upgrade. So I get to pick a card and a conservation. Pick a card, pick a cards. I don't like any of the cards. The moose, maybe. Just because he's an herbivore. Oh, I'm gonna have to discard. Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. And then just go down. I'll refill later because we're about to break. This is going to move down here. And then the AI is going to break. So I'm going to have to discard down to 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's only 1. It's not too bad. Let's get rid of the polar bear because he's not going anywhere. I mean, really, I have no bears. It doesn't even matter. This is going to come back. We are going to lose 2 cards. And now I'm going to finally refill everything. Ooh, sheep. Tap here. Okay. And now I'm going to gain income. So same as last time, 57. 40, 50, 5, 6, 7, and then kiosks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $8. 5, 6, 7, $8. I got a ton of cash. And then one of these is going to jump off here. And oh, I only have 3 for 5 rounds left. It's not good, not good. Okay, I need to build some animals. All right, 2 animals. Who's coming out? Who's coming out to play? So we got maybe a moose and a rock monitor. I think that's gonna be how it works. So I have the bonus here, so it's gonna be $9 for the monitor. And he's gonna go into size 2. And that's gonna give me 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As well as I can sell the 3 cards for $4 each. And I'm going to sell, what am I missing here? 8. Do I need money? I really don't. I have so much money right now. I just need to build stuff. Oh, hold on a second. I can't build him there. Sorry, he's not next to a rock. That's my bad. He's going to go into the size 3 enclosure. My bad. And do I want to sell cards? I'm not even going to sell cards. Maybe I'm going to sell one. I'll sell that. Dude, I've been hanging on the entire game. There's a lesson for you. Don't hoard cards in this game because it'll come back to bite you. All right, and then my moose is going to be another. Oh yeah, and 2 points because it's a mountain space. Okay, and then my moose is going to be $16. 10, 15, 16. And he's going to give me 7 plus herbivore, so that's 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $9. And he's going to fit into that size 4 enclosure up here. So multiplier sponsors, my multiplier sponsors. Oh, sorry, on your sponsors action cards. And flock animal 4 may share the existing closure of a herbivore of size 4 plus. I don't really have any herbivores of size 4 plus, so it doesn't really matter. So I've got a multiplier on sponsors, so I could just build the sponsor cards, but none of them benefit me at all. What I really want to do is the association card. I'd have to boost it. But I'd love to see more sponsors. Like small animals does nothing for me. Herpetologist does nothing for me. We don't need the icons. I don't need anything. So that's I can do a break, but then cash doesn't mean anything. So instead, I think I'm going to do the association now. Spend X to bump it up to 5. So now I can go all the way up here and sponsor a card. And I do believe I have all 5 symbols somewhere. So I'm going to put this here. And that's going to give me 5 reputation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever I take off the purple, I do get the bonus immediately. So that's another conservation. My tokens have technically passed at this point. I am going to also place a cube on here and spend $12 because I have a ridiculous amount of money right now. For another one. Right now we're just trying to see how far I can get because I still got a couple of turns left. But I mean, I've basically won the game at this point. So if you want to skip ahead to the review, you can do so. And then they're going to move. And then let's see how far I can get. I do want more animals. I need more buildings. I'm going to, since this has got a double, I'm actually going to take the skip action twice to get 2 pluses, if that makes sense. Pretty sure you can do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I'm not totally sure. There, now we got another break before the end. So I'm going to be earning $75. 40, 60, $75, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $9. That's just a ridiculous amount of money. And oh yeah, and next reputation here. And like I said, you can always tune off. I'll tune off now because it really doesn't matter. I've already won the game. You're going to go ahead and jump to my review. I just really want to see how far I can get. We got build. Let's do building for 5. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish all my buildings. And let's spend $10. Let's put in a size 4 enclosure. Oh, you know, I almost have it. And then a size 1 enclosure, which will do a, I guess another kiosk. Oh, you know what? Since I'm milking it, let's put in an observation tower for a point. Why not? And then that goes here. And then I have one last turn. We are going to do animals. Can I even place the animals? I guess I could build the Cody. Sure. Build an animal. Spend the $8. And money is like no object at this point. And build a Cody. I'm going to put him in a 4 just because he has to be close to the mountain. I did not get to completely fill everything, unfortunately. But that's fine. And then endgame scoring. We'll just jump ahead here. So we've got here, let's skip to the endgame scoring. 6 mountains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's good for a 1. Oops. And then we have 6 herbivores. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, not quite. Not quite 6 herbivores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And then we have all border spaces covered. Yes. So there's an extra 1. And then my end game, 7 mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, I thought I had 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, which is another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so then when you are done, you're going to put your reputation down to the lowest possible point space, and you're going to calculate the difference between your 2 spreads. And if you're over positive, then it is a win. If you had not crossed yet, you would be in the negatives, in which case you lose. If you're playing multiplayer, then whoever has the highest spread wins the game. So let's head back up and I'll give my review. So as you can see, Ark Nova is quite the sprawling game. There is just like a ton of cards everywhere, low EB pieces, especially if you're playing with like 4 players. I would probably recommend playing at 3 players maximum, just to keep it going a little faster. I mean, it still took us a few hours to play a 3-player game, so that's still fairly long already. But each turn is engaging, and even when other people are going, there's plenty for you to think about or see what other people are doing, or cards that trigger off of what other people are doing. So player interaction is, while relatively low, you are still fairly engaged and kind of racing for different objectives or grabbing cards. So like it does kind of keep you busy. As far as solo goes, I'll cover that at the end. Okay, let's check out the components. Components are quite good. You know, they're the money is kind of these strange gray tiles. Not a huge fan of that. Cards are decent quality. All the cardboard is decent quality. I wish the player mats were a little bit bigger or a little bit thicker, but they do come with 8 of them, each double-sided, so you have plenty of variety in what maps to play. Whether you want to all be the same map or have asymmetric maps with different powers, there's plenty to choose from here. Now, the art is going to be a little bit of a point of contention here. I will say it is not as bad as Terraforming Mars art. Base game. Ares Expedition, beautiful. But I feel like it works. The worst offenders are the action cards. They've put the same like Photoshop highlight edges or plasticize or something. It's like the same Photoshop set of filters on each of the cards, and they're kind of awful. But that's just the action cards. The animal cards themselves, while they're all photographs, it does work because they're animals. There's one or two odd choices for some of the human roles, and like herpetologists, for example, but they don't stand out as being weird because they're all photographs. And the photographs are decent photographs. They do show the subject. You do get to see actual pictures of all these animals, and there is like a massive stack of cards. So having to illustrate those would have been a huge job, I'm sure. But the photos work. I'm okay with that. The graphic design and layout is, while not fantastic, is quite clear. The iconography is clear. Everything is easy to understand and really works. So I feel like components do work quite well there. The trays are nice to have. I will say that the lids do not stay on, and I wouldn't put elastics around them because you're gonna crack them. So what I've done is, in my box, I have just like a piece of foam that I stick to just add that little bit of extra so the lids don't pop off and all the pieces don't shuffle around. So it's a small thing, but that will help with keeping components in place. All right, so the gameplay. Card engine building. Love me some card engine building, some tableau building. We're getting new cards and slowly increasing and getting more and more stuff. This does it very well. You have different types of like suits or sets of cards that are looking for similarities, like herbivores in my case, or things like mountains. But then you have the added puzzle of having to actually fit them next to mountains, which I had to, I apologize, I had to backtrack a couple spaces there because I forgot that they had to be next to a mountain. And I apologize again for any of my goofs during the game. The engine building is great. The map placement actually matters and is important. Not only do you have strange special tiles to fit in, like my gondola tour here, but you are building a little bit of adjacency bonuses with the kiosks. You are trying to cover up bonuses to score those. You are, you have to build outwards from existing pieces. So everything really works there. And it is a neat little kind of side puzzle, and probably more impactful than games like Terraforming Mars. But also similarly done to, I know people will probably compare this to Underwater Cities. I think that's not a fair comparison because it's a worker placement game. It's a little bit different. And the tableau building is more impactful here. The conservation projects do give some good things to work towards. There's not a ton of them in the deck, so being able to have one of those and know what to work for is great. I have seen other people complain about certain synergies being a little bit lucky, and I think that is true, especially for any engine building game with this size of a deck. If you get the handful of right cards on the right time, then it's gonna go well for you. But there's enough flexibility that you can kind of shift pace a little bit and still do quite well and have a satisfying game, and maybe even compete to win with just flying by the seat of your pants. And that does work. Is totally fine. But it is nice to have a little bit of guidance to know what to work towards. The different ways that everything has to progress is all very interesting and maybe thematic, you could say. I like how you can kind of unlock additional things as you upgrade your action cards, like getting your reputation up high enough to have access to more cards, access to being able to buy point things or build in certain areas of your map. All those decisions are meaty and interesting and impactful. And of course, the action selection, the card river. I first saw this mechanic in Civilization of New Dawn, which By the way, I haven't done a review of it yet, but so spoiler alert, with the Terra Incognita expansion, it is probably the best Civilization style game that I've ever played, and I've played most of them. Yeah, not all of them. There's just too many to play, but I've played all the big popular ones. Let's put it that way. And that game with the expansion is fantastic, largely in part because of this action selection mechanic. Every single round is that agonizing decision that is just so tasty of, do you want to wait for that action to get a little bit bigger, to be a little bit stronger, to get to where you need it to be, or do you take that action now because it will get you ahead just before the next break, or it'll let you build that part of that enclosure in your map so that you can then place the animal next round. Every decision is so impactful and a lot of fun. It is really neat to shuffle these things around, and because you're focused down on just those 5 actions, I think it does eliminate some of the AP or the analyzation, the paralysis that you get from just having too many options. Focusing you down to 5 options, really helps keep the flow going. And I think that is probably the stroke of brilliance that really makes this game makes it sing and keeps you going the whole game long. So Ark Nova, a very high recommendation for me. It's definitely not going to be for everyone. This is not something necessarily I would introduce to someone new to the hobby, unless they really know what they're getting into, because it is a time commitment, it is a mental commitment, and I mean a table hog. I had to raise my camera up and I dropped a set of weights I have balancing the system, and it put a hole in my calyx table. So even filming it was a commitment. I broke my table to film this thing. Not this one. I have another table. But if you love the theme, if you love the engine building, I would highly recommend finding a copy of Ark Nova. I think it's going to last for a long time in the board gaming world. Whether it gets expansions or not, it is definitely a high recommend for me, with lots of replayability and lots to explore. So that is me. I'm Will. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If you want to see some other Tableau or engine building games, I would recommend checking out my playthrough and review of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, which is the card-only version of Terraforming Mars. And thank you for watching.